to stampingcatcrew.com. Today we're going to make this super cute bubble over card, and this is the finished card. This is the envelope. I always tell you, remember to make your envelopes pretty. Got a little bit of bling on the inside. There is a sentiment you can put on the inside as well that coordinates. The stamp set and coordinating dies are called Bubble Over, and they have two sizes of the soda pop bottles, or people are doing beer bottles, or I think you could do just a ton of different really cute stuff. Root beer, I've seen little lemonade with some see-through straws, lots of really cute ideas. These are the die cuts, and they actually have little parts that fit in here that would make a little slot on each end of these. Got some extra bottle caps, so you can cut out some extras. Straws facing both directions, which is really awesome. And lots of little bubbles and things like that. For the bottle cap, which is here, and also the little lid that I have down here, I used the Stampin' Up! Silver foil paper. So it's white on one side, has a silver on the other, and it's a little heavier feel to the cardstock. So I've pre-done that for you. For the little yay that fits inside, I just wanted to show you, I have a 3/4 inch circle punch right here. And all you do is, I always tell people, stamp first, and then you can line up whatever it is that you are cutting out, and you're going to end up with that nice image. And especially if it needs to go in a certain direction, it really lets you line up that image properly before you stamp that out. I've already done the straw and the Have a Birthday Brew. So the colors in this card, other than the Daffodil Delight, are also Bermuda Bay, which is here, Calypso Coral, which is right here. And then I also did a length of the new ribbon, and this is in the Occasions mini catalog, and it is called Lemon Lime Twist Striped Ribbon. It's mini striped ribbon. So this is it right here, and I just put a little knot in the top and ran it down. The paper that we used is from the Celebration catalog. It's called a Bubbles and Fizz Designer Series paper. So with every $50 purchase, you can pick out this, or there are several stamp sets, ribbon, etc. things in the Celebration Mini. This time of year is always amazing for the free things that you can get. You can see I've got all my little parts in here, but the paper just has all kinds of really fun patterns and whatnot. So that was the paper that we used for this. And I've pre-stamped and pre-die cut everything to make it a little easier. The one thing I didn't do, because I get asked this a lot, is on the background here, I used the brand new from the mini catalog. It's the Sequins Textured Impressions embossing folder, and it's one of the really thick, heavy-duty ones. And I have a lot of people that sometimes have some questions about the right sandwich to use for something like that. So I'm going to set my little parts aside for the card, and I'm going to pull out my Big Shot. Which is right here. And because I'm in my craft room and I love this teal color, that's why I have this really pretty teal colored Big Shot, but it's exactly the same and same sandwich and everything. The plates that I normally leave on here is the magnetic platform, but I wanted to show you when you are using the really heavy duty one, you just want the regular Big Shot platform. It does come with a thin die adapter. So if I was going to do something without the magnetic plate and I wanted to cut out the little shapes for the bottles, I would use this, and then I would put a clear plastic plate, my paper, and then my thin die, and then my other clear plastic plate right on top. But because this is such a thick folder, we don't want to do that. So we're going to place this right here. Nothing on the bottom, so no clear plate, just the Big Shot platform. This essentially is thick enough to take the place of another one of those clear plates. I'm going to layer my other clear plastic plate right on top. pull this forward a little bit so I can turn this correctly. And you really shouldn't have any problems having that feed through. So it shouldn't be really tight at all. I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to show you what we ended up with and why that makes a difference. So a lot of times if you're trying to either A, run it through on the Big Shot platform, that would be the same as doing the regular platform plus the thin die adapter, and that's going to make it much too thick. And so this is not needed for that. And you also use only one clear plastic plate. So normally I pre-die cut everything, but as I was doing this, I was thinking about the questions that I get asked, and that was one of them. So the sequins, if you turn it over, you can actually see there's a lot of detail to them. You can see all the dimension, the little hole in the sequin center. They come in different sizes. I decided to flip it over and use this side because I liked the texture and the little kind of fizz bubbles coming up. And it was something new and fun to play with. So I'm going to bring our parts back over so that we can do some assembling on the card. So this is the Designer Series paper. It's one of the patterns that's in there. Any of the patterns would work wonderfully. And I always cut a little extra length because it always drives me nuts if I end up a little short on a cut. So I'm actually going to grab the snail adhesive and I'm going to quickly put this together. I'm going to run it right along the edge. And I did have a little piece hanging off like I knew that I would, but I would rather have that than have not enough. So I'm going to trim that off. This is the length of ribbon. I did a bigger border, A2 card base, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I have it cut landscape wise, or I'm sorry, portrait wise, so it would stand like this. And I wanted a bigger border, so I cut the white at 5 inches by 3 3/4 inches. So usually just to make a knot, it's about 1 inch longer, and that's really all that you need. And I know I want it closer up towards one end. So if I'm going to do something like this, it's going to sit just like that and fold right around the edges like that. So grab my snail adhesive one more time. And to keep things easy, I put the adhesive around the edges first, and that way I can fold over one end right there and have it stick onto the adhesive and fold over the other end. And then one of the things that I always tell you is to go back and add more adhesive, and that way you'll have a good contact with your base layer, which is this guy right here. We're just going to center this on. Try and get as close to having your 4 edges nice all the way around. I've pre-stamped the little inside portion already, so what I'm going to do is, again, just take my adhesive, and again centering. On the bottom, we've got the little starburst. This is a punch from the big catalog. It's the Starburst punch right here. It's the only shape like that in the big annual catalog. So I've done that in Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to have it sit just about there. Bring my little pieces over here that I've pre-done. And it doesn't take much to to have these stick on. Put the little yay in the center of my bottle cap there. This is the bottle here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add just a little bit of adhesive to the back, and this is the Tombow liquid glue. Love, love, love this stuff. It is amazing and does not take much. We know we want it tilted off to the side a bit, just about like that. And we also have both of these images popped up. So I'm going to grab my dimensionals here. We're going to put one on the back of the bottle cap. And then I did have 3 that I ran straight down the back of the bottle. And that's going to pop that up. We did 2 of these to add little pops of color right here. The little Have a Birthday Brew. Use some of that adhesive from the snail runner and center that right on there. Again, adhesive. And centering on the bottle. So the last parts are just a little bit of fun. We're going to take these little pieces off right here, and we want that to go off the edge just a bit, and take the bottle cap for a little fun up here. We've got this little tiny piece of bottle cap, and add just a little bit. And the final part is just a little bit of fun. Also in the Occasions catalog, and I know you've seen me use these before. I love them. I've told you how I store them, just to keep things easy. These are the adhesive back sequins. So they already have adhesive on the backs of them, which makes them pretty darn awesome to use. I'm going to stick one down here just for a little spot of color. Got some right here. And our final is in the yellow. We're just going to have a little spot up here. Take these 3 and set them aside. So our finished card right here. It's the Yay Have a Birthday Brew. Like I said, if you want, there is a sentiment that you could put inside. Super cute with the stamp set. This was the card that we started with. So exactly the same, and you saw how quick and easy that was to assemble. And honestly, besides the die cutting, it's literally 2 ink colors, 2 punches, and the dies are each different. You can run them through at the same time. One of the tricks that I did learn is if you have a little bit of the blue painter's tape, because it doesn't stick too bad, or even sticky notes, which I love to use. I'll cut tabs of sticky notes, and as you lay out your dies to run through the die cut machine, when you have multiples, and say you're going to do the straw and everything else, you put it down where you're going to have it, take your sticky note and stick it on each portion, and it keeps your things from shifting around. So it makes it easy when you have stamped images that you are running through the machine, but it allows you to run multiple images through without having them move, which is really nice, especially with the magnetic plate. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Thanks so much for stopping by, and happy creating.